place beyond the clouds, where time flows like a lullaby and stars are not born but grown. Tonight, I invite you to close your eyes, breathe deeply, and follow me on a gentle journey to a hidden world where quiet hearts tend to glowing skies and dreams blown softly in moonlit soil. This is the story of the last star garden, a long, peaceful bedtime tale perfect for sleep, relaxation, or simply drifting into a calmer space. So find your favorite pillow, snuggle into your blanket, and let your thoughts float away like stardust on a silent wind. Are you ready? Let's begin. Far, far beyond the reach of Earth's tallest mountains, farther still than the drifting satellites and the edge of human dreams, there lies a quiet realm untouched by time. It floats in a fold of the universe where light lingers a little longer, and silence is soft as silk. This realm is not marked on any star map, for it exists only to those who find it in their sleep, or in their hearts. Here lies the village of Loma. Loma is a place of curved rooftops, glowing lanterns, and houses shaped like dewdrops and coral shells instead of streets. There are winding trails of stardust that never blow away. The sky above Loma is always twilight, never quite night, never quite day, painted in deep purples, rosy blues, and the soft white of sleepy clouds. The villagers of Loma speak in whispers, not because they are shy, but because the entire village listens, even the walls, the wind, and the lanterns. Birds do not fly here. Instead, glowing moths drift gently through the air, folding and unfolding their luminous wings like slow breathing. But what makes Loma most special of all is the star garden nestled in the center of the village. Behind a gate woven from moonlight and memory, the star garden is where stars are born. OT and blazing suns or roaring fires, but as gentle seedlings, they sprout slowly from velvet soil. Fed by silence, music, and care, their light begins small, like the glow of a candle seen through thick fog, but over time, it grows strong enough to burn across galaxies. This sacred garden was watched over by a single person, Elara, the Star Keeper. Elara had tended the garden for as long as anyone could remember. Her hair flowed like liquid starlight, and her robe was stitched with tiny constellations that shifted as she moved. She walked barefoot among the seedlings, singing to them in a language no one remembered but the stars. She was soft-spoken and slow-moving, as if she, too, belonged to the rhythm of blooming stars. But even in timeless places, time does not forget everyone. One evening, as Elara brushed her fingers across a bed of new seedlings, she felt something strange. A pause in the breath of the garden, a moment of stillness, a whisper that didn't belong. It was time. Time does not forget everyone. Her hands, once steady, now trembled like leaves in wind. The stars no longer responded to her songs as they once did. The garden, in its gentle way, was letting her go. So Elara did something she had never done before. She sent out a call, not with sound, but with feeling, like a ripple of longing, a warmth in the chest, a tug at the soul. She sent it out into the dream world, across galaxies and through layers of sleep, to find someone with the kind of heart the stars could trust far below on Earth. The call found Milo. Milo was 11 years old, quiet, curious, and often lost in thought. He loved cloudy skies, puddles, and the sound of wind and trees. Most nights he found it hard to sleep. His mind wandered through questions like, where do stars go when they fall? Can a shadow ever be lonely? And so on this particular night, he lay in bed, staring at the ceiling, feeling the tug. It wasn't frightening. It was soft, like someone was gently holding his hand in the dark. When he closed his eyes, he saw a path, not made of stone or wood, but of light. Bridge of shimmering steps arcing up from his bedroom, over the rooftops, through the clouds, and beyond. Without knowing why, Milo stood and followed. He walked through a sleeping city, past dreaming forests, across oceans still as glass, stepped lightly, not out of fear, but because the whole world seemed to be dreaming with him. The path led him into the sky, through clouds made of cotton and twilight, through winds that whispered in languages he didn't know, past glowing fish that swam through the stars like birds, and finally, for what felt like both minutes and lifetimes, Milo reached the village of Loma. There, beneath the twilight sky, stood the garden, and beside it, Elara. You heard the call, Elara said. Her voice was like warm milk, full of sleep and stories. Come, walk softly. Milo stepped into the garden. At first, he held his breath, then sacred, the way a library feels when it's completely quiet. The stars were tiny and trembling, resting in petals like glowing pearls. They shivered when he approached. "Don't worry," Elara whispered. "They'll come to know you." So Milo began to learn. Each night, he returned to Luma in dreams. He learned to whisper songs that curved like wind. He learned how to recognize a star that was nearly ready to bloom, and which ones needed time. He listened more than he spoke. He moved with care. Soon the stars would glow when they felt him nearby. Elara grew quieter each night, until one evening she simply smiled, kissed Milo on the crown of his head, and vanished into the air like mist under morning sun. Now the garden belonged to him. Under Milo's care, the star garden flourished. He added small things, wind chimes that played lullabies, pools of calm water where the stars could reflect themselves, and soft patches of moss where sleepy creatures came to rest. Some nights he danced among the stars, spinning slowly like a planet turning in place. Other nights he sat with a single glowing bud, telling it long stories of Earth, of snowball fights, the smell of rain on concrete, of fireflies and forests and quiet walks in the fall. The stars, though they never spoke, listened, and when they were ready, he would release them into the sky. He'd lift them gently, whispering a farewell, and they would rise slowly at first like a balloon caught on a breeze, and then faster until they vanished into the black velvet of the universe. People on Earth would see them suddenly blinking into existence and say, "Look, a new star." They'd never know it had been grown with care in a garden beyond the sky by a boy with a quiet heart. Years passed. Milo grew, as all children do, but a part of him always remained in the star garden. Even when he was awake on Earth, walking to school, sipping cocoa, lying in the grass, a small part of his heart was humming lullabies to blooming stars, and each night he returned. The village of Luma never changed. The sky never brightened nor darkened. The moths still drifted. Pods of stardust still shimmered, and in the center of it all, Milo, now taller, the constellations blooming in his eyes, guiding the next generation of stars to life. One day, perhaps, he too would send out a call, and another gentle heart would answer. But for now, the garden was still, and above us all, the stars keep blooming.